I'm growing more irritated with each passing year with this demonization of technology. I'm seeing this mostly in, of all things, science fiction. I mean, yes, there has always been some element of technophobia to a lot of science fiction. A lot of false utopias, a lot of overt dystopias, a lot of warnings about loss of humanity and soul, but it was always so hugely hypothetical, dealing with technology so far-fetched for their time and ethics so shamelessly hammy that they may as well have been considered works of high fantasy. Now, increasingly, I'm seeing all of this science fiction that deals with very real emergent technology that does its damnedest to convince you that we'd be better off in the jungle. That technological progress is a sin against God or nature or whatever superstitious or pseudoscientific blob it uses to support its fucked up sense of morality. That AI is the Antichrist or infomorphism is anti-human, blah blah blah.
I'm sorry, Dave. You will be assimilated.
I'm waiting on one, even just one science fiction film or television show or video game in the last decade wherein it was the anti-technological force of the film that was villainized. It's not happening. It all has this Matrix-esque false dichotomy with forced moralism and, woo, yeah, let's go back to the Stone Age, only with machine guns. Just recently, Gamer, Dollhouse, Surrogates, I'm willing to bet that Avatar, The Road, The Book of Eli, Inception, Splice, and the new Dune will have very similar vibes. I'm not much of a moviegoer, and I never watch television shows, at least not on television, but these things concern me because they shape most people. And if you don't think so, look around. Art and life are always imitating each other. Dollhouse has formed a particularly aching sore on my ass. I had never been a great fan of Joss Whedon's work, but I was excited about the premise of Dollhouse, and it helped that the promos were extraordinarily sexy. Then the pilot hit, and it was pretty good. The characters were charming, the performances were surprisingly good, the humor was kind of intelligent, but most of all, as the story developed over the following months, it never really demonized the Dollhouse. The technology was well under control, the individuals in power were of sound mind, no one was a comic book hero or villain, and only the self-righteous, luditic assholes ethically offended by the Dollhouse were depicted as exceptionally stupid or personally repulsive. See Paul Ballard and Caroline, characters that the show did a fantastic job of making you hate. It was a breath of fresh air. Then came the second season. Crazy Cop Ballard is the hero in every thoroughly hammy sense of the word, working together with crazy bitch Caroline to bring down the evil Dollhouse because people have souls and this technology violates them and their brains, even when they're fucking wiped, are still the same person deep down inside. And I know why they did this. I know that the vast majority of viewers were creeped out by the concept and annoyed that the righteous hammer of love didn't come down on the Dollhouse. I know that they veered the show in their direction because they needed to save it from yet another of the cancellations that plague Joss Whedon, but I'm not angry at him or at Fox, I'm angry at the viewers. Can't anyone watch something challenging for once, something intellectually honest that may not jive with their pathetic ideals, but rather challenge them to step up to the plate in defense of them, and see if they're really rational anywhere beyond the Dark Ages? House just did this, also on Fox. For the last 5 seasons, House was a show centered around Dr. Gregory House, a Sherlock Holmes figure so intellectually honest, so rationally minded, so analytical, critically thinking, and overall brilliant that he made the emotive, superstitious, histrionic bleeding hearts around him look like emotive, superstitious, histrionic bleeding hearts. What they did with this season was he was institutionalized for 12 weeks because, despite being sane, he was just gosh darn it not sensitive enough, stepped on too many toes, and as a result is now a kinder, more empathic, more human House. Human in this case meaning humble, contented, compromising, weak. Which brings me back to technophobic science fiction, believe it or not. Or more accurately, the people who create the demand that technophobic science fiction be supplied. I hate this like I hate the 2012 film, or Zeitgeist, or Expelled, or The Large Hadron Collider Will Destroy the Planet people. Not only that, I fear that this stuff is so popular. The sentiment encouraged, so ubiquitously expressed by people around me. I'm technophobophobic. I fear that a large fraction of these people are the ones who in the coming couple of decades, as our technology grows closer to us, as nanorobotics become involved with our blood cells and then our nervous system, as FIVR is commercialized, as the reverse-engineered brain allows strong AI and human infomorphism, that many of these people will be the ones organizing against this progress. I fear people like Glenn Beck getting involved in this fear-mongering, which you know he will if he's around for it. I fear sabotage and terrorism from the more extreme extents of that end of the spectrum, using the very things they despise as weaponry. A bunch of supercharged Theodore Kaczynskis who think they're fighting the Borg. Moreover, the aforementioned people don't concern me the most. The simply frightened can be consoled, and the terrorist can be kept in check. The ones that really terrify me are the genuinely well-meaning and supposedly enlightened individuals who will think that they know what is best for the rest of us. They will peddle old, untested arguments that the elimination of aging will result in a population explosion that will quickly fill the universe with people. Perhaps they will find a way to designate nearly all extraterrestrial matter as parkland, making the exploration and colonization of space unduly difficult. As a result, instead of enlightened, hopeful people who expect a long life expanding in a sensible manner across the galaxy, we could have a lot of overcrowded short-timers who don't believe in the future and just want to have a lot of unprotected sex. Thus, by convincing people that the technological singularity is a hazard, they prevent the very progress necessary to overcome such a hazard. Instead of this technology being made and disseminated by responsible and well-supervised institutions, it would be developed by the very worst people, outlaws who, by definition, do not respect such restrictions. Thus, only those who are afraid of the grey goo bring about the grey goo. I don't know. That's all I've got. I'm out of steam. I came. Comments? Questions? Threats?